I have invited Luke to participate with me today in this workshop and help me out because he's a super talented, awesome champion, but also because I just wanted everybody to enjoy, like I enjoy, his South African accent. So enjoy with me today. All right, glad to be back here in Utah, enjoying the RevRoad community. It's fun to see this community continues to impress me with talent and energy and just great people that hang out here, work here, find success here. It's fun to see and it's fun to be a part of. So good job, keep it up. Today we're going to talk about mentors. If you've had a great mentor before, you know that mentors are super cool. Awesome. It's awesome to have a great mentor. But today we're going to kind of talk together, work together, and explore what do you do with a mentor to make sure that your experience with a mentor is really good. Since I said the word cool, you guys have to put up with me. I'm a dad, and I'm full of dad jokes, so bear with me. Here comes a dad joke. You ready? Hey, Luke.
Yes.
How did the hipster burn her lips while drinking coffee?
Shucks, I don't know. Tell me, Dave.
Did you just say shucks?
Yeah.
Shucks is awesome, but it's even cooler in South African accent, isn't it? Well, let me tell you, Luke. She drank it before it was cool.
Oh.
Come on. You're welcome. You're welcome.
A round of applause.
When it's time to gather and eat, I'm full of them. So if you want to hear more dad jokes, just hang out with me, okay? I'll look forward to sharing. Okay. Today, we know that one of the reasons why you gather here at RevRoad and form our community is you want to be seen, you want to be heard, and you want to network. You want to get to know people in our community. So Luke has graciously accepted my invitation to start us off with an icebreaker today, an activity where we can do some sharing and maybe meet somebody new today as well. So I'm going to turn the time over to Luke and have him walk us through our icebreaker to start us off today. Luke, take it away, buddy.
Thanks, Dave. I'll tell you a little story to get kicked off with our icebreaker. A couple years ago, going on 6 years ago now, I was confused. I didn't know where I wanted to go after college. I was looking for my next play, and I reached out to about 100 people and barely got a response. And one person at the company that I wanted to go and work for reached back out to me. And they said, hey, I'd be willing to chat to you for a couple minutes about what it's like to work here. And that relationship developed into a mentor relationship where they told me about what it was like to work at LinkedIn, was the company that I wanted to go to. They told me about what the culture was like, what the interview process was like. They sent my resume back to me over 10 times through iterations and eventually referred me for the open position. By the time I talked to a recruiter, it was just such a natural conversation that I ended up landing the job, and it was this fantastic experience and it changed my trajectory in my career. And if you look back, I'm sure you can all think of mentors in your life or people in your life that have changed its trajectory or helped you in some way to take your life to the next level. And so for our icebreaker activity, I wanted to do something quick, and if we could hit the next slide here. I want to do a gratitude activity. I want you to take a moment and think of someone that's helped you through college, helped you get funding, that has given you advice or helped you land a job. Once you got that person in your mind, for those of you who are on Google Meet, I want you to post in the chat a shout out to them. So you might say something like, I want to send a shout out to Matt Kohler for helping me land a job at LinkedIn. He helped send my resume back to me with iterations 10 times, and I ended up landing the job. A short sentence like that. For those of you who are here in person, I want you to turn to the person next to you and share what that mentor did for you. Yeah, we can take it from there. As those comments start rolling in, Andy, if you could shout out some of those. I don't know if we can get them up on the screen over here, but we'll start shouting out some of those in the meantime. But on your marks, get set, go.
Find somebody to share with. If you have to stand up, do it. Just keep your mask on. Nice.
Is the Michael? I was thinking, I don't know if they can pull the comments up over here. So
I'll go check real fast.
Okay.
Hey, is there any chance you guys could pull up comments? Okay. What's that? Okay.
Maybe I
They
can.
can't pull them up, but they can read them.
Oh, I can pull it up on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me. I can pull it up on my phone if you guys have the link. I don't have the.
It's just on YouTube, so it's live on our YouTube.
Are you getting any?
None yet on the chat, but.
Well, then we'll just. Maybe give them one more minute. Tell them that we'll
Okay,
be looking to have some people share in a minute.
All right, 1 more minute.
I always feel like Madonna when I wear these things.
What's who that?
When I'm wearing these, I feel like Madonna.
Oh yeah.
It's not comfortable.
All right, let's wrap things up over here, everybody. Perfect. Who has one to share? Okay, Peyton, we got one at the back.
We have a couple from our online viewers. The first one is Katie. She says, to Leanne for accepting me as her intern many years ago and graciously allowing me to make mistakes.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Katie. Anyone else that, we'll do a little twist on this. If you can share for the person next to you what their mentor did for them, that'd be awesome. Show that you're listening. Darren, yeah. And do we have a mic? Does this work? Oh, there we go.
I can't touch it, right?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Whoops.
So Trista shared a great one with me. It's her grandmother and great-grandmother, and the story of them getting college degrees and even advanced degrees in the early 1900s, and what an inspiration that they were to her of the importance of education, and then how they applied that in their lives, and how that's helped her have courage to achieve the things that she's done professionally and personally as well.
Wow. Laying the
thought it was
groundwork.
awesome.
Thank you so much for sharing. Who else wants to share? Yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
Testing. There we go. Mike over here in our group right here. He mentioned that his business partner is one of his greatest mentors, which
Wow.
you don't always hear. So that was really cool.
That's super cool.
Well
yeah,
done.
that's the kind of business partner you want, right?
Right.
That's sweet. Anyone else? We'll do one more. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we had mentioned how there are some indirect mentors in our lives. He does podcasts, and some of the people we've listened to, the How I Built This with Guy Raz podcast,
Yeah.
and he interviews all those successful entrepreneurs, and indirectly those people, have influence on, the choices we make, and kind of give us that courage to move forward like they did.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, totally. And yeah, I think redefining the way that we think about mentorship can help sometimes, because it doesn't always have to be someone that you meet with on a weekly basis, or it could be Guy Raz and the advice that he's given you through the podcast. That's fantastic. Well, to close out the activity, I want to invite you all, for those of you who have posted online on the YouTube feed, go ahead and copy that and post it on LinkedIn, and publicly show some gratitude to the mentors in your life. For those of you here today that want to do that as well, go ahead and post on LinkedIn or Facebook, and use the hashtag RevRoad to let us know, and we'll go ahead and like that.
Awesome. Thank you, Luke. Thanks for your participation, everybody. Okay, moving on to our workshop now. Let's talk. We want to talk together as a group today and explore ways that we can do three things. We want to mine when we get a chance, when life works and goes our way, and we get a chance to work with a mentor, we want to see if we can maximize that opportunity and try to mine from our mentor 3 things. And we're going to talk about these today. 1 is wisdom, 2 is support, and 3 is network. Okay, so let's step through those real fast. First of all, when working with a mentor, one of the best things that you can mine from a great mentor is wisdom. Hopefully your mentor has kind of already been there, done that. They have a lot of experience that you don't already have, and you can learn so much from them and avoid a lot of mistakes perhaps that they've already made if you will look for ways to mine their wisdom. Think about people in your life who have served as mentors. It could be a coach, it could be a teacher, it could be an official business mentor or a parent, whatever. Think about some of the nuggets of wisdom that you've received in your life that have dramatically improved your personal life and or dramatically helped you in your business career or with your business. Would anybody like to share? I'm going to start off sharing one nugget of wisdom that really helped me in my career. Be thinking, and would love to hear from the audience if you have examples yourself that you would be willing to share. Amy?
For the folks online, they're asking if you can pull your mic a little closer to your mouth.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to do that without knocking it off my head. Okay. Okay.
If you put it in your mouth, it works best.
What if I lick it? Does that help? So my slide is about a nugget of wisdom that I received from a mentor in my early career in EdTech sales. He was our boss. He was teaching managers that he was trying to groom and promote. And he taught a principle out of the book Good to Great. If you haven't read the book Good to Great, I recommend it. It is kind of a dated book. It's 20, 25 years old now, but it is still a brilliant book with great principles in it to help you run a company. And one of the principles that he taught as I was becoming a new manager and being responsible for teams and building teams and working with teams is he taught the principle of get the right people on the bus. And hopefully you've heard of this principle before, but just in case, the idea is when you're building your team, you got to find the right people that fit on your bus, that fit on your team, that will have the right talent and the right skill set to help you be successful. Recruit those people, get them on the bus, and then when you do, make sure you get them in the right seat. Sometimes you'll hire somebody for one thing and you realize that their talents lie somewhere else. Be strong enough and courageous enough to sit down with that person and say, hey, I love you, I'm so glad you're here, but I think you're in the wrong seat, let's move. And then sometimes, in spite of our best efforts, sometimes we invite somebody onto our team or our bus that is not a good fit for our team or for the business. Be strong enough and be courageous enough to sit down and have those hard conversations with that person and say, hey, life is short, you're not happy, I'm not happy, let's make a change. That wisdom, that nugget that he gave me really helped me build great teams, have good team spirit and culture, and have a lot of success. And then when I would make a mistake, I was able to have the courage to make a change. That is one example of somebody in my life that gave me a nugget of wisdom that really helped me in my career. What about you? Does anybody have an example that you've been thinking about that you'd be willing to share with us, either on a personal level or a professional level, a nugget of wisdom that a mentor gave you? Bart?
One of my mentors taught me that if money can solve one of my problems, then it's not truly a problem.
Wow, you sounds like you have a mentor that might be a whack job. Anyway, I hope that you were patient with that mentor. Thank you, Bart, for sharing. What else? What other nuggets of wisdom have you learned throughout your career or in your life that have really helped you from somebody that's shared? Yes. Microphone? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. We'll start back there. We got the microphone back there. Thank you.
I had a mentor drill into us over years and years of teaching that if you are 15 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're dead.
Were you in the military?
It was Springville High School Orchestra. So
Tomato, tomato. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. Up here, we have somebody who'd like to share.
Whoa. Yeah, I had a, hi. I had a mentor that shared this one with me, the bus, but also one that I think that's really stuck with me over the years that I learned on in the beginning of So Delicious is neither a seller nor a buyer be. And once I learned that if there was something I really wanted just to be able to detach from it, it helped me so much in our business, just realizing I can exist without this, or I can enjoy it if it comes, but it helped me really detach from outcomes.
Awesome. Thank you very much. From the front lines of building a business. Great advice. Thank you that he used. What else? Would anybody on this side like to share? Yes. Microphone. Thank you.
One of the things my mentor taught me was it's not shameful to pivot, and that we're in business to solve a problem here. And if you haven't pinpointed that problem, you can keep pivoting until you find that problem and find a proper solution for it.
Wow. That's great advice, and I'm glad that you learned it and you're using it. Super. Anybody else? Yes.
Yeah, I had a mentor once, and he used to drill this point over and over again, and I still hear it in my mind. He said, plan your work and work your plan. And I always kind of figure out where I am in those two steps and can get back on track.
Very good. Thank you. Amy, did you have something to share?
One thing that's been shared with me many times is show vulnerability. As successful and driven and goal-oriented as we all are, we can't lose sight of making room for mistakes and having that grace with each other and your team or your leadership to be vulnerable and learn and be human.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Amy. Okay, one more, or maybe a couple more. We'll do two more real fast.
One of my mentors taught consistency with the right attitude, and he was a perfect example of someone who was very consistent and had the best attitude, and to me that's the keys to success.
Very good. Thank you. That's awesome. Sydney, did you want to share something?
One of my mentors taught me the wisdom in showing grace and mercy and giving people the benefit of the doubt and second chances because of the power that it can have not only on your situation, but their life.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you. What would the world be like if we all followed that advice? It'd be kind of crazy. Thank you. Okay, and to finish up the bullet point of wisdom, Luke, what about you? Has anybody ever shared something with you that, like, wow, really helps you in your personal life or professional life?
Well, yeah, I mean, I go back to the example that I shared earlier about being a college student and not knowing where to go. Having a framework for how to apply to a company was simple, it was specific, but it completely changed my chances of being able to land a job there, and somebody taking a bet on me. So, yeah, just really grateful for that advice that they gave.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, thank you, Luke. All right, moving on. So now let's talk about support. Before we go on, does anybody know who that person is on that slide and where that person is? Anyone?
One back there.
It's Alex Honnold climbing Yosemite.
Yes, either El Capitan or Half Dome, I believe. Yeah, that's right. Unless you're Alex Honnold, when you climb one of these cliffs in Yosemite National Park, you need support. If you're building a business, you need support. The only reason I put that up there is because I thought about support, and I thought, what would be a cool picture about support? And I saw this one, and then I thought, okay, I got to say something about Alex Honnold, because I just went to Yosemite National Park, and I don't understand how that guy did what he did. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch on Netflix Free Solo. It's a crazy story. Anyway, another thing that you can mine from a great mentor is support. Okay, let's talk about that a little bit. Those of you that have had mentors before, what does support from a great mentor look like? What are some ways in which a mentor can support you? What does that look like? Sydney.
I don't want to talk too much, but one thing that I've seen be really wonderful is when a mentor can help someone who's following after them on a similar path to be able to be successful based on what the mentor has learned along that path.
Okay.
And so sharing insights or wisdom that they've gained to help them feel prepared or help them learn the key insights that will help them be successful.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else? Yes. Dude with really cool hair that I wish I had.
Thank you. So I was talking to Jason, he was telling me about his mentor in the early stages of his career, and he said that his mentor flew out to Florida to help him and his family. I think a huge part of support is just the contact with your mentoree and communication. So that's huge, just showing that you're there and that you care.
Agreed, thank you. Anybody else? What else? Luke, what do you think? How can a great mentor support you when you're trying to build a business or be a good dad or be a good husband or whatever you're trying to work on?
Yeah. Well, I've been reading a book, The 4-Hour Work Week, and it's just a fantastic book by Tim Ferriss. If you haven't read it yet, really good insights there. And one of the challenges that he gives you in the book and that he gives his students, for a long time he was a professor, is reach out to someone who's done it before, whatever it is that you're looking to do, and shoot for the stars. And so I think from a support standpoint, that's what you look for in a mentor, is someone that has done what you're looking to do. It's no use, sometimes I default to going and talking to family, and I'll say like, hey, what do you think about this idea? But if they haven't done it before, they really can't give you that actionable insight that's good feedback. So find someone that's done it, shoot for the stars, and you'll be in good shape from a support standpoint.
Awesome, thanks, Luke. Some other thoughts that I had around gleaning or mining support from a good mentor. A lot of times when you're building a business, there's gonna be struggles that you have to get through. There's gonna be hard things that you have to do. And sometimes you just need a sounding board. You just need to sit down with somebody and work together to kind of come up with the pros and cons and different options that you can take to either solve a problem or move your company forward or whatever. So a mentor can be a great sounding board to you. So take those opportunities, like have been mentioned, to communicate and talk things through and share. And again, glean as much wisdom as you can as you're trying to handle the challenges that you're facing as an entrepreneur. Okay, let's move on. Before I move on, though, so I'm going to move on from wisdom and support. Let me just invite you to think about something. When you have a great mentor, you can accidentally glean or mine wisdom and support from a mentor, or you can be a little bit more proactive and be a little bit more of a control freak like I am and make sure that you capture as much as you can when you're working with a mentor. One way to do that is to sit down with your mentor and open up a calendar. And you don't always have to do this, but sometimes this will help you capture more wisdom and support. Look at a calendar with your mentor and say, what day of the week or what day of the month and what time works for you, and make it a regular event that you do so that you're going to give yourselves regular opportunities to get in front of your mentor. Bring an agenda. Make sure you have something to go over and talk with your mentor. That will be more productive, I promise you. So just food for thought as you think about how you want to work with a great mentor. Okay. Let's talk now about mining your mentor's network. A great mentor is going to have a great network that you can benefit from. What are some ways in which somebody's network can help you as you are working on trying to build a business? Think that through a little bit. How can somebody's network in the industry that you're trying to build a business help you sometimes? What are some ways? I have 3 ideas that I'm thinking about, wondering if you can read my mind. How can a mentor's network help you? Yes.
They can point you in the right direction. They have people that you could work with, especially if they've done a similar thing before. They've got connections that they can help you with, whether that be suppliers or networking with
strategic partnerships, introductions to form strategic partnerships. That's great. That's not one of the 3 that I was thinking of, but I'm only thinking of 3. There's lots of other ways that you can mine a great mentor's network. That's a great answer. Thank you. What else? There's 3 things that are bouncing around in my head that I'm wondering if you guys can guess. How can you, what's in a mentor's network that can help you, potentially? How about this one? Amy? Investors. Okay, yes, absolutely. Potentially, you might be introduced to somebody who learns about your business and what you're doing and how you're changing the industry that you're in and how you're making it better. And that person might say, wow, I'm impressed with you. I'm impressed with your company. And I'd like to be an investor. Absolutely. Thank you, Amy. Yes?
Your next key hire.
Okay, thank you. Yes, A players. Okay, if you have a great mentor that knows the industry well that you're working in, they probably know the rock stars in your industry, and they know where they're at. And they might facilitate introductions so that you might have a chance to recruit those A players and bring them onto your team with all of their wisdom and experience in the industry. Thank you. Great answer. Yes, Darren.
So I'll share one. Just before I came in today, I got a call from one of our portfolio companies. They're going to do about $100 million this year, but they run into an obstacle at Amazon in increasing that. And so we paired him up with one of our investors who used to run a division at Amazon, and he's helping them overcome some very significant obstacles that could make the difference of adding another $20 million to their revenue this year.
Fantastic, Darren. Yeah, great example, a great story unfolding there at Phone Soap. Absolutely. Again, kind of strategic partnerships and leveraging people that can help you. Very good. There's one more that I was thinking of, and if anybody else wants to guess, they can, or we'll move on. Okay, just, Luke, you remember what it is?
Nope.
Potential customers. Think about that. Think about if you have a great mentor that knows a lot of people in your industry, boy, they might be able to introduce you to some great people that might be some of your first customers. And as you know, if you're building a business, those first customers are oftentimes the toughest ones to get. So that's another thing to work on with your mentor is mining his or her network for potential customers, A players, as was mentioned, and investors. What else, Luke? What did we miss? Anything else?
Can I offer 2 words of advice on this?
Yeah.
So we run a company that helps people connect with mentors to land their next job. And one of the things that I've found is the trend that people that are able to mine the best networking or the best support or wisdom out of their mentors is 2 things. The first is gratitude, and we did that activity. And the way that looks in a mentoring relationship is every time a mentor says something to you or makes a connection, following up on that so fast that they know that this is a goal that you're getting for them, and that's how you're treating it. And so, making that thank you note come right after you've taken action on whatever they've advised you to do, or the person that they've introduced to. The second thing is, I guess, now I'm spacing on the second thing. What was the second thing? Making it as easy as possible for them to do what you're asking them to do. So I had a person once come to me and say, hey, I'd love to land a job at LinkedIn. Can you talk to me? I said, absolutely. I love doing that. And then they said they left it up to me to figure out what time we should get, to send the calendar invite, to reschedule when they couldn't make the appointment anymore. And it became so hard to help them that we ended up not continuing on with the mentoring relationship. And so if you're using a mentor for something or connecting with a mentor for something, making it as easy as possible for them to help you, taking the work off of the table and the barriers down so that they can make an introduction super easy and they can give you that wisdom or give you that support really quickly. And then showing that gratitude afterwards is going to be a game changer for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Luke. Perfect. Great segue. So we've been talking a lot about what you can glean from a good mentor. And we've just been talking about one-way traffic, right? You do need to show gratitude like Luke alluded to. And then I would encourage you, look for ways to make your relationship with your mentor a win-win, right? Mentors need things too. Mentors need support and help as well. Mentors don't mind you buying them lunch sometimes or breakfast. There's lots of different ways that the mentors, you can show gratitude and give back to a mentor if you look for it. So I encourage you, take advantage of a great mentor, work with a mentor, mine those things that we talked about today from a good mentor, and then look for ways to give back and show gratitude. Okay. One of the reasons I had Luke join me today in this presentation is because he has co-founded a company called Mentorli. And as you can tell, he has a great appreciation for mentors. I mean, it's even in his company name. So I know that there are individuals here and there are business owners here that might not know about Mentorli, and I wanted to give Luke, as we wrap up our workshop, a chance to kind of give a quick commercial about what he is doing to help individuals and companies with his great company. So will you just take a couple minutes and do that?
Yeah, you bet. And I'll be quick. Mentorli helps talent land jobs through mentors. And so for those of you, we're talking about giving in return. For those of you who are here today and felt inspired to mentor, I'd invite you to download the app and become a mentor on Mentorli and join the hundreds of other people that are helping people land jobs at their company through a mentoring relationship. And for those of you who own a business, considering going ahead and recruiting through your employees as mentors. It's a fantastic way to make the talent that typically doesn't have a network but is highly qualified to land the role that much more likely to land the job at your company. We talked about hiring A players and bringing A players onto the team. This is a fantastic way to do that. And so with that, appreciate you all coming and listening to us. And Dave, this has just been a fantastic opportunity to talk about mentoring.
Luke's awesome. Thanks for joining me, Luke. And remember, if you want more dad jokes, look for me at lunch. Thanks, everybody.